Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Jaleesa Jaikaran, and we are talking about the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation today. Now, this foundation is not so new, but it is Makeup Forever's newest foundation. I really like it. I have been using it for quite some time, but a few of you have been asking me for more Makeup Forever reviews, so here we are. I have quite a bit of foundation reviews on my channel. I definitely can do more because I have a ton of foundations, as you can see. And me and my face had a discussion, and she was like, what's really good? You gonna use this stuff or nah? And then side note, these are my personal foundations, not the things in my kit or the things that I donate. But today we're talking about the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation, which is a foundation that I am wearing right now. I'm gonna be showing you in this video how I apply it. I've been using the brush that they recommend. I use a brush that they recommend, and also with a beauty blender. We're gonna be discussing the shades, and then we're going to chat a bit more about how it wears. So if you want to see more, you know what to do. So the only thing that I have done right now are my eyebrows. I went ahead and I re-moisturized my skin. It's in the afternoon right now, so I did my morning skincare. But everything that I use, I'm going to make sure and put it in the description. So before I actually get to the foundation and applying it, we just want to talk briefly about what this foundation is. So the Reboot Foundation is Active Care. It's the Active Care Revitalizing Foundation. And how Makeup Forever describes this foundation, it's a skin revitalizing foundation that adds a radiant satin finish while hydrating, smoothing, and firming the skin for up to 24 hours. The coverage is light. Like, I love my skin to look like nice, fresh, dewy. Like, I still want to look beat, don't get me wrong, but I still want my coverage to look super light and fresh. So, and the finish is satin. So they also add in that this foundation has ginseng, which helps support natural collagen. We're here for that. And then another ingredient called Camellia japonica, if I'm saying that correctly, and it helps to support the skin's natural glow. It has mondo grass, which also helps to support the skin's protective barrier. They do recommend to use the foundation brush, the 112 foundation brush, which is what I have, and we're going to be using this. And then they also give you directions on how to use it with a sponge. So they say if you use it with a sponge, start in the center and work it this way. Now I have my shades. I have Y503 and Y445, and I'm going to be showing you both shades, but I also have some shades that aren't my color, and because I'm a makeup artist, I just want to give my opinion on some of the other shades that I've seen and what I think about it. So let's get right into it. So first things first, let's check out the pump. So it is a pump bottle, and it's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to be trying on me shade 445 and 503. Now they look very similar, right? Granted, I have gotten a bit lighter in quarantine, but it's quite all right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna be applying 503 and 445. I have them here on my palette, and we're going to be applying. First, I'm gonna actually test the shade, see which one works better, and then we'll talk about it. Now, I actually bought this foundation before Makeup Forever sent me a few shades. I was just like, I'm obsessed because I love anything that looks very light and natural. But let's test the shades first, see which one looks better, and then I'll tell you my experience, because I've actually been using this foundation for quite some time. I use them in some of my tutorials and stuff that I've done on TikTok and whatever. So this is the 503. Oh my god, that is heavenly. And then let's get another brush. And then I'm going to do 445. So for me, I would go with this one because, let's see, let's blend this out. Actually kind of looks good. But I feel like it's kind of on the pink side. It's kind of on the pink side, and this one obviously on the warmer side, but I want to be warm. I mean, honestly, I think both of them look good, but I do see the pinkness in this one. So I'm gonna go with the 503 because that is actually the shade that I bought. when I bought foundation. So one thing to note is, even though you might find a shade that matches your cheeks, remember that sometimes not all of us have even tone all over our face. So for me, my forehead is a bit darker, and over time, you know, living in New York, I have gotten lighter, and you know, my forehead isn't as dark as it used to be. Like the perimeter of my face is not as dark as it used to be, but I know for sure if I were to use the 445 on my forehead, like a full coverage, you know what I mean, like actually putting it fully on there, it would not look good. So I'm gonna go with the warmer shade, and then we're gonna do one side with the brush that they recommend. I haven't actually used this brush before, so it's gonna be quite interesting seeing how it works, because I don't really like very dense brushes. But I will say, compared to some kabuki brushes, it's quite, you know, it moves quite a bit. It's not like those big kabuki brushes where it's just like, it's huge and you only really just use the top into it. So I'm gonna just dab that on. Oh wow, that's nice. So I'm gonna get some more. So as we can see, this is like so fire. The next side, I'm gonna actually use a damp sponge. Now I will be honest, guys, I rarely use sponges, and like I don't even use sponges in my kit. I just never really like love them, but I have my own little sponge thing that I keep here at my station for me, and I keep telling myself like, use it, see if you like it. I think in the beginning of my like when I first started getting into makeup, like I was super into it, but I just really love brushes. All right, and they're just easier to clean as well. All right, so we're gonna go back in, and I have my damp sponge here. I'm using a beauty blender, and we're gonna go just like they say, and we're gonna go in the center first and work our way out. So on my forehead, I never build coverage on my forehead. I'm always just kind of like doing like a little wipe. Like even if I do like that, I'm just gonna try and like wipe it away, because I don't want a ton of coverage up there, especially because my forehead is darker. You can always use bronzer. Let me just take this out of it. You can always use bronzer to, you know, warm it up, but you don't have to put a lot on. But what I really appreciate about this foundation is that it looks like skin. Now this foundation is for normal to dry, and I am more on the side of normal, and I do have like eczema around my mouth, and that is the area that gets really dry for me. But other than that, I am normal to dry. And then this foundation is not recommended for oily skin. So if you have oily skin, I guess, you know, they do not recommend it. So probably, you know, the ingredients will just not be a good match for you. So this is what we have so far. I love that it looks fresh. It looks like my skin. So I went ahead and I used my Makeup Forever HD concealer. So if you guys want to see me review that, let me know. And then you always want to check, and what I always do when I'm doing foundation reviews, you want to make sure that the color matches your chest. So make sure you always check that. Okay, so this is what we are looking at with just foundation and concealer, no powder at all. And I would recommend, if you have very dry skin, you probably don't need powder at all, but maybe in the summertime you might want to do like a light dusting of, you know, like a loose powder. But oh, I don't know where that came from. And let's get right actually very close. So I feel like I love how it looks and feels. For me, I don't get very dry, so I'm going to set my foundation with powder, and then I'm gonna come back, tell you guys my final thoughts, because I have been using this foundation for a few months, and you know, it's all good. It's still on the market. So let me know what you guys think so far. Drop down in the comments what you think so far, and then I'm going to tell you my final thoughts. So that is the foundation. If you guys have any questions at all, let me know. But I do love how this foundation wears. If I'm in a case where I want extra coverage, I'll just put a bit more concealer on. Maybe I'll contour, because like a light dusting of powder bronzer is like my contour. I don't necessarily contour all the time when I'm doing my makeup. But if you have anything that you want to see reviewed, whether it's foundation or any other product, let me know. And don't forget, you can check out my other videos right here, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.